Welcome to this exploration of the fossil record. Fossils are one of the most powerful pieces of evidence we have for understanding the history of life on Earth. They provide us with a window into the past, allowing us to see what organisms looked like millions of years ago and how they changed over time. Throughout this presentation, we'll discover how fossils form, what they tell us about evolution, and why they're so important for understanding our planet's biological history. So, what exactly are fossils? Fossils are the preserved remains or traces of ancient organisms that are found in sedimentary rock layers. These can include the actual body parts of organisms, such as bones, teeth, and shells, or they can be traces of their activities, like footprints or burrows. When an organism dies and gets buried quickly by sediment, under the right conditions, its remains can be preserved over millions of years. The key requirement is that the organism must be buried rapidly to prevent complete decay, and the surrounding conditions must be just right for fossilization to occur. There are several different types of fossils, each formed through different processes. Body fossils are the most common type and include preserved bones, teeth, shells, and other hard body parts that resist decay. Trace fossils, on the other hand, don't contain any actual body parts. Instead, they preserve evidence of an organism's behavior, such as footprints, burrows, or feeding marks. Mold fossils are impressions left in sediment after an organism decays completely, creating a natural cast of its shape. Finally, petrified fossils occur when organic material is gradually replaced by minerals over time, essentially turning the organism into stone while preserving its structure in remarkable detail. The process of fossilization is actually quite rare and requires very specific conditions. It begins when an organism dies and is quickly buried by sediment, such as sand or mud. This rapid burial is crucial because it protects the remains from scavengers and slows down the decay process. Over time, the soft tissues of the organism decay, leaving behind only the hard parts like bones or shells. As more sediment accumulates on top, minerals from groundwater seep into the remaining structures, gradually replacing the organic material with rock-like minerals. This process takes millions of years, and eventually, the surrounding sediment hardens into rock, preserving the fossil within it. Only a tiny fraction of all organisms that have ever lived become fossils, making each discovery precious. Scientists use two main methods to determine the age of fossils. The first is relative dating, which determines a fossil's age by examining its position in rock layers. This method is based on the principle that deeper rock layers are older than those above them, so fossils found in deeper layers are generally older. However, relative dating can only tell us which fossils are older or younger relative to each other, not their exact age. The second method is radiometric dating, which measures the decay of radioactive isotopes in the rocks surrounding the fossil. Different isotopes decay at known rates, acting like natural clocks. For example, carbon-14 dating is commonly used for relatively recent fossils, while other isotopes are used for much older specimens. Together, these methods allow scientists to construct an accurate timeline of life on Earth. The fossil record reveals a fascinating timeline of life on Earth, divided into major eras. The Precambrian era, spanning from 4.6 billion years ago to 541 million years ago, represents the earliest period of Earth's history. During this time, only simple single-celled organisms existed. The Paleozoic era, from 541 to 252 million years ago, saw the evolution of fish, amphibians, and early reptiles. The Mesozoic era, lasting from 252 to 66 million years ago, is often called the Age of Dinosaurs because these magnificent reptiles dominated the planet during this time. Finally, the Cenozoic era began 66 million years ago and continues to the present day. This is the age of mammals and modern life forms, including the evolution of humans. The fossil record provides compelling evidence for evolution in several ways. First, it contains numerous transitional forms, which are fossils showing intermediate features between different groups of organisms. These transitional fossils demonstrate how one type of organism gradually evolved into another. Second, the fossil record reveals a clear pattern of change over time. When we examine fossils from different geological periods, we can see gradual modifications in species, with simpler organisms appearing in older rocks and more complex ones in younger rocks. Third, the geographic distribution of fossils matches what we know about continental drift. Fossils of similar organisms found on different continents provide evidence that these landmasses were once connected, supporting both evolutionary theory and plate tectonics. Several famous transitional fossils beautifully illustrate evolutionary transitions. Archaeopteryx is a spectacular example of the transition from reptiles to birds. This fossil, discovered in Germany, shows both dinosaur features like teeth and a long bony tail, as well as bird features like feathers and wings. Tiktaalik represents the transition from fish to amphibians. This remarkable fossil has fins with wrist bones and a neck, showing adaptations for moving onto land. Ambulocetus, whose name means walking whale, demonstrates the transition from land mammals to whales. This creature had legs capable of walking, but was also adapted for swimming. Finally, Australopithecus shows the transition from apes to humans. These ancient hominids walked upright on two legs, but retained many ape-like features in their skulls and bodies. While the fossil record is incredibly valuable, it's important to understand that it's incomplete and has gaps. There are several reasons for this. First, fossilization is an extremely rare event. Only organisms that die in specific conditions, such as being rapidly buried in sediment, have a chance of becoming fossils. Most organisms simply decay without leaving any trace. Second, geological processes constantly reshape Earth's surface. Erosion, volcanic activity, and tectonic movements can destroy fossils that formed millions of years ago. Third, many fossils remain undiscovered. They're buried deep underground or in remote locations that haven't been explored by paleontologists yet. Despite these gaps, the fossil record still provides overwhelming evidence for evolution and continues to grow as new discoveries are made every year. Let's review the key points about the fossil record. First, fossils provide direct physical evidence of ancient life, allowing us to see what organisms looked like millions of years ago. Second, scientists use multiple dating methods, including relative dating and radiometric dating, to reveal the timescales over which evolution occurred. Third, transitional fossils show gradual changes in species over time, providing clear evidence of evolutionary transitions between different groups of organisms. Finally, the fossil record documents life's incredible evolutionary journey on Earth, from simple single-celled organisms billions of years ago to the diverse array of life we see today. By studying fossils, we gain a deeper understanding of our planet's biological history and our place within it.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.